Hi everyone, welcome to Lectora Live, and we are live at the Lectora User Conference 2017 in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio. This hotel is gorgeous, the Hyatt Regency Cincinnati. You guys like this place?
I actually do.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really nice hotel.
It's beautiful. I'm joined by two really smart guys right now. We got John Blackmon, and we've got Alfredo Ferreira. You got to say it right.
That is correct.
And you're in charge of the
Course mill,
which is a cool product, and of course, you're godlike in your own qualities, but
in my own mind, anyway.
We're all godlike. Some delusional somewhere.
Don't say that to him, man.
But you know, we listened to a little bit of your speech today, and you realize you're the only person in all of Trivantis who hasn't signed a non-disclosure?
Apparently not. Yes, Good point.
You put out a lot of good stuff today.
Yeah.
Everybody came out going, "Are we supposed to know this?" There's some cool stuff coming.
There's
Some really cool stuff coming, and I missed most of it as we were here doing actually some interviews. But you talked about timelines.
Yes, timelines, but not just a traditional timeline.
No, different.
So, different timeline. It had to be
Yeah.
different. The reason it hasn't been in Lectora for all this time is Lectora operates differently, right? So Lectora is not just built on a slide going for a certain time. You have media objects on there that are clickable. Mm-hmm. You can have multiple media objects that are clickable, in addition to transitions in and transitions out. So all those need to be editable on that timeline. So it's actually broken up into two. You have your page transitions and you have your media events. So we broke it up into two and then made multiple of those editables at the same time. So
What's nice about that, it's a little bit different because a lot of timelines are built more around the Flash model.
Right.
And not so much the video. Yours is a little more video-ish than the Flash model, which confused the heck of a lot of people. If you're not really a video editor or used to animations, it's confusing.
Right.
You also have a more visual approach.
Yeah.
I saw a mock-up the other day, and I was going, that's kind of a cool approach. It's a little bit different from your typical frame.
Right.
So,
No frames.
No frames.
No frames. You're reading a book. You have chapters, pages, and sections.
Which I think for a lot of the clientele who use Lectora and a lot of the instructors will be a little more intuitive.
I hope so.
Definitely different.
I hope so.
Actually, that's the way video should be too.
Okay.
It's more like a video editing because really you're moving clips.
Right.
And
That's true.
Then you're looking at it. It's really easy at that point. I do a lot of video editing. I go to me. I don't care that much about time as much as where the clip fits.
Right.
And then you can move time anywhere you want afterwards. But first you lay out your story, and then you animate it or do whatever you do with it. So, and you're doing Course Mill. You're running the Course Mill product, and you guys have done it. We had Nick Haven on earlier today. Mm-hmm. And he was telling us some of the things you're doing. It's some pretty cool stuff you guys are doing. He was telling us about the performance that you guys have now, where it went from 100 threads to literally 1,000 threads of writing back and forth to a database. For those who don't know, that's fast. So that is fast. And what are the things you guys doing?
So the main thing that we have moving forward now, it's the student UI. So we redid the student UI, make it more modern, responsive. After that, we are forced to redo the database. Our database schema kind of corner us in a position where we can really improve the product. It is,
but it's not a bad schema as it is.
No, it does a lot of good stuff. But for the stuff that we want to do moving forward, we need to redo the schema to open up.
We know where we want to go. In order to get there, the next step is to redo the schema.
Yeah, and usually schema, it's all about indexing and making it faster. And
correct.
Yeah.
It's all about performance at this time.
Yep.
And also it gives us the ability to really have a SaaS product. A lot of the managed properties that we have is server level properties. By changing that to put it in an org level, then you can have multiple tenants in one server.
Okay.
And it's a win for everyone.
That's true. Because there are small tweaks because you do have different. It's one big platform with a lot of different users and needs and demands.
Right.
That's pretty good. Yeah, he was telling us earlier, Nick, was that if you have 100 users now and you need 1,000 in 5 minutes, it's like that.
Yeah.
Right.
He said that is a huge difference in the speed and performance. And he was getting deep into indices. And he goes,
I'm sure Nick referred to the fact that we've moved it over to Amazon Cloud as well.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, and so it just literally he came up to me this morning and said, "Hey, John, I have a customer CMS that's reaching 100% of their CPU. I need to upgrade to a newer machine, within 5 minutes, we had them moved over to a machine. It's that we can do it that quick. We can change their machine size. Yeah.
And Amazon has limitless space, it seems. He corrected me. He goes, "No, it's a lie. It's not true.
It's not limitless.
It's close."
It's
He said there's still a lot of stuff that you don't see, but they have to do on the back end to make it look limitless.
Right. Ineffective.
But he said it just. He goes, the servers are so fast right now. All SSD servers, no delays in getting things out there, and that's amazing. I've got to try it out. We have a course mill account. We've got to get on there and try see what we see with the performance increases and stuff, because that sounds really interesting and really good.
Absolutely.
Is any of this also geared to the Zappy to make it more?
Correct.
It is.
That's
Okay.
the major with the schema changes.
Yeah.
Will allow us to do all this new functionality that we want to put in, course rating, badges, gamification, and all that good stuff that we'll be able to do by opening up the schema. And
That's interesting. That should be fun.
Yep, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a nice ride.
Yeah.
We did the mobile also. I forgot to mention we have a mobile app that we own now that we can provide to clients, included with the course mill.
Is that new?
It is new.
Okay.
Well, we used to have a third-party application, a mobile application.
Right, I remember
but it was
that.
kind of kludgy the way it was done.
Restricted.
Right.
Really
Okay.
restricted.
So
It's a lot easier to work with.
now it's part of the application. You get it, right?
Yeah. If you get Course Mill, you have the mobile app. It's not something different. You don't
Okay.
have to use it. So you just go to the store, the Play Store, the App Store, pull it down. It'll work.
One
with your
thing I've
copy
always
of
liked
Course Mill.
about Course Mill, we've worked on it on a couple of accounts we have. I love the ease of use. It was easy to set up a user.
Right.
Whereas some of the ones I've worked on at least 15 LMSs, maybe more. Most of them are horrible. And Course Mill, when the first time we got into it, I went, oh, I can read it. Hey, it's actually readable. And hey, this is easy. You're just going down a simple form. It's not. I've been to some that are just really complex. And by the way, they're all the big players who charge $500,000 minimum entry fees, and you don't get what you pay for. And so that's a big difference.
Yeah.
It is. And so
Hey, it's going to get easier.
and it'll even get easier.
It's going to get easier.
This would be cool. This would be cool. And then on your end, well, I was talking to Darren earlier, and we know he actually runs the whole company. He just
ask him.
He told us, but nobody knows.
It's a secret.
But you guys are great. You have such a wonderful development team. I mean, you really do. We've gotten to meet a lot of the developers over the last 3-4 years. We've known some of them before, but more from a support standpoint and everything else. And those guys have all been great too. But as we've gotten to know all of you guys better, it's just we're always impressed with the quality of the people you get and also the camaraderie of it. That's so damn key.
Yeah.
Well, we've all been working together for quite a long time.
And you don't hate each other.
Yeah,
This
well.
is okay. That's what I was
No, it's
There are silos, I know. But no, it's a good team.
Yeah.
It's a good team. You got good people, and a lot of people don't realize. And we talked about this last time with Bob when he was here. How when you work with people a long time, you get to know what they're like, and you get to know who can do what they're good at, what they're not good at, and then people sort of fit each other's good and bad points, so they know how
where
to
the
work
pieces
together.
fit.
You know where all the pieces fit.
Absolutely.
And that's good. That's a good thing. You guys have been busy. I mean, I
A
keep
lot.
looking at. You've never come out with so many releases so quick.
Yeah, and it's
I
going to
mean,
continue.
it's
by the way.
pretty amazing.
It's not going to slow down anytime soon.
No, and some of the small releases you come out with aren't that small.
Right.
It's like when you came out with, what are we on? 18, 17, 17. You had like a 16.5 really. That was kind of a 17,
Right. Yeah.
and I go, no, wait, that's not 17.
Yeah. But it had some new features.
It had a lot of new
Yeah,
features,
yeah.
and I think people are noticing. People are noticing that there's a lot of change, and it's happening pretty quickly. He was telling us that you're changing a lot of the models where, like the gamification stuff, games are being changed to HTML5, so that everything is really going more that way versus the Flash environment and everything else.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I actually like Flash. I didn't like developing in Flash. I thought the
I
language
actually enjoyed development.
Did you like the development?
Yeah,
I did.
I found their action script. Maybe I'm not a C programmer. Maybe that's or C++. So maybe that's part of it. I kept looking at it, going, it's half-assed backwards. It wasn't intuitive.
Yeah.
As a language, like when I'm defining my stuff, it wasn't where I thought it would be, and it wasn't always where I thought it was going.
But there was so much there.
There was a lot there.
A lot
Yeah.
there, and it made a lot of things so much easier to do than you could do in other ways. But the problem was it always was in this plug-in model
Right.
that was doomed to fail at
Doomed
some
to
point.
fail.
At some point.
Yeah, it was very similar to JavaScript. You feel like
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. It was similar. Of course, they ran against Steve Jobs, who made all his money off of Adobe,
Yes.
and then screwed him. What a guy! What, you gotta love
Yeah.
Steve Jobs. Because basically he did. He went after Flash with a vengeance because his phone was too slow to handle it.
Right. Yeah.
That's really the
Actually,
reason.
Yeah.
Even though every game on an iPhone is Flash for the most part. Angry Birds, they're all Flash, except they're wrappered.
Well, it's not that they're Flash. They started as Flash. No, but even
I thought they still are.
No.
No?
No.
Really? I
Yeah,
thought
Rovio developed. Rovio is the one that is
Yeah,
Angry Bird. They developed that natively. It's not a Flash.
Oh, I heard
They-
originally it was Flash.
It probably originally was, but they ported it over.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's been a hard job too. That's
Yeah.
quite a bit in that.
Yeah.
Well, not really. It's the same exact thing with different skins.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
the whole game is the same
Right.
thing. Yeah. But no, Flash did run on it. There was some wrappered applications we saw. It ran okay.
Yes.
But he would never admit it. Yeah, I'm gonna die, but I'm taking you with me. That was his whole goal with Adobe. So, and Adobe deserved it too because they haven't done a great job.
They came out of it okay on the other end. They're doing just fine.
They are. So
doing
it's not too bad. So what are you guys doing aside from you've got timelines coming out? What other things are happening for those that couldn't make it to your talk today? What are some of the key points of what you talked about?
Well, one of the big things we're looking at is XAPI and CMI5 across the entire product line. So it's really key that we get to a point where we can collect data on anything within the course and then report on it in such a way that you don't need to hire a SQL developer or a database administrator to create a report for you. You need to be
Well,
able
you
to
guys already have an incredible report writer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. I know people absolutely love it.
Right, but we need to make it even easier and to work specialized for XAPI. So something that works well with the data that we're collecting, because the data is going to be different now. I mean, we have a different kind of data. And if you're the guy that created it, you should also be able to write the report on it as well. And as Moni be writing, it'll be very similar.
Yeah.
So we're looking at dashboard. First of all, implementing XAPI and CMI5 across everything, and then dashboards, big data, reporting, that kind of thing. So the ability to utilize that across the entire bandwidth is huge.
Yeah, and most people don't really get the Zappy interface or what it's really doing. It just lets you track just about anything.
Correct.
You want to go on YouTube, track your movies, how many movies you've seen? Hey, it's there.
Right.
Pretty much anything that can be quantified as a piece of something can be
Right.
tracked.
Yeah.
And you were talking that you can use simple things like JSON and there's a lot of things that make query languages easy with JSON that anybody can get their own data. I mean, if you want to go to YouTube and get the YouTube API, they give it to you. It's easy to run a query on it and you get everything you need.
Right.
So it's basically the same with the Zappy interface.
From that, you could write a Zappy statement out to your LRS and correlate. So if you see that everybody that watched that same YouTube video suddenly scored higher on this thing, hey, maybe I need to do that.
That's interesting.
You correlate external things with. Learning happens everywhere now, right? So you need to be able to correlate, right? I mentioned in the talk that I was talking with a gentleman earlier, and he was going to be putting XAPI statements in all of his courses, and based on the performance of those courses, the course was on cash registers and making errors on common errors, avoiding common mistakes in the cash register. Well, the cash register is just a computer. You could put XAPI statements on that, and you could actually correlate the performance in the course to the actual mistakes people are making on it, and then you could actually see the results of that. So,
and the language is easy to understand in terms of their statements.
Individual statements.
Johnny watched a video. I mean, in essence.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
And now Johnny's smarter.
There you go.
Yeah.
JSON is becoming very popular with the NoSQL databases, where everything is stored as JSON.
Well, Leslie, who's running the show right now, she's an old IBM system programmer, has been doing this for a long time, and she got into JSON like that. She just said, "This is
makes
cool."
sense.
And she
You
starts,
look at it, you know what it is.
She starts hacking APIs and doing all this other stuff. But literally, it was really easy to get into data and then manipulate it. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it just basically gives you the data, but then it's pretty easy to just take any report writer and have fun with it.
Well,
So-
it's also human readable, so it's not like you have hey, I can look at that and read it. There it is.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So what do you see? What do you see as in the LMS world? I mean, it's a busy world in the LMS world, with a lot of vendors not really doing all that well, or doing. Shouldn't say not doing well, not doing a good job for the clients. There's a lot of everybody hates their LMS. If you talk to a lot of people, it's like, yeah.
That's what we want to make the change and provide features that makes your job easier.
Yeah.
It's not just features that we think is good. We want to talk to the client and see what's going to make your job easier and how you're going to go about doing it, and then we provide the features. That's we have Laura now talking to clients every day trying to get a feedback. What is going to make your life easier?
So what's one of the things that people want to do? Want to do more with their LMS, or want it to be easier? What kind of things are you hearing?
Well, the one thing that XAPI is one thing, so we have to be able to store it. So that's going to be a big.
So you are hearing that from people. They are getting into that.
Leaderboards, badging,
Okay.
many things we talked about today. It's a requirement today because people. That's what motivates people. So you're looking for how to motivate people to get on there. Put them in the top 10 on a leaderboard. Guess what? They're motivated. They want to get. They want to make the top 10. Oh, I didn't make the top 10. All right, I'm going to go in and I got to get in. I got to make the top 10.
Yeah.
That's what gets people going.
It's true. That's a hard one because people say you just made top 10. So
it means something.
I know it does. Some people love that. They really do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And especially if they're competitive and they like to get in. They're working in a team like customer service reps. They like that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I service more people. I got a leaderboard thing, or I got, and they do like that. It's fun. Badges, I don't care. I don't do anything. Look, you got all this, and this. Okay.
Yeah. Look at all these pictures.
I'm a jaded IT guy, I guess. I don't know.
But you say that, but badges are important as well. I mean, people really,
do love them. They do.
They do like badges.
And I have to admit, I went on the community for Lectora, or for Trivantis, and I noticed I got 3 badges. Where did I get that from? But I thought it was sort of fun. I have to admit, I looked up from. I did go to that. I did. Oh, that's cool.
Badges.
I have more badges than you. I got like 10 badges. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But you can give yourself badges. I heard about that.
But badges is kind of getting a really, especially with the continuous integration.
Yeah.
People do their builds and they put badges on GitHub build paths.
Okay.
Well, badges all over the place nowadays, so it's kind of stuff that people are looking at.
And even on bulletin boards, there are badges for who did the most posts, who did this, who responded the best to that. And I think you have it on the community too. I think Sergey got most responses for helping people, just for answering questions. And I guess that is fun. I mean, I have to admit, the badges are sort of fun. It's sort of like, if you go to the military, everybody's got like...
There you go.
And
I think they're more official.
They're more official, but I don't know.
Official.
Some of them are pretty. Some of these generals, and I don't know. It's like, can I buy the one with the lots of badges?
Right.
So it's sort of funny, but so what else is going on with the product? And I mean, you guys have done a lot of updates in the last year and a half.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot. I mean, this is much more. We were talking. We were talking earlier about the Lectora advisory board and how that works. And one thing a lot of us have been asking for, at least maybe not asking you or other people, we've been talking among each other. We're missing features because there's so many new things. When we get to it, and we're always busy, we're looking. Oh, we missed a feature. Darn.
Yeah.
I missed one that killed us. It killed us. It was really. We actually are going to get 50 lashes each when we get back because.
Who's delivering said lashes?
I don't know. We'll find something. We're in California. It's easy.
Good point.
Yeah. Can you give us that? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But we did a course recently where we originally had Lectoras. That's the tool we're using. We knew this was the right tool. We looked at the wrong object. We would look because we needed something that did text scrolling or page scrolling, but also needed hotspots, anchors, And we're going, oh darn, it doesn't do that. Shoot. And we did it in Storyline, which had hotspots, nothing else.
Right.
But we ran into problems because you have problems with the way they do their scroll. We had a lot of problems with it. And then she just wanted to torture herself and go back and find out why we didn't use Lectora. And she went into the web object. It did everything we needed.
Yeah.
And we're going, oh no, the wrong object. And that's the kind of thing that we hadn't paid attention to. And
So
when
many
we looked
things,
at it, we just went, oh my God, it does everything. You got the anchors, you got hotspot, you got anything you want in there. And so, 50 lashes was about worth it. Because it was a lot harder to do it in Storyline. It would have been so darn easy in Lectora. And
it's like that. There's so many features and so many different things in there. It's hard to do them all, right?
It is. I mean, we try. But not all the objects are used all the time.
Right.
And that one just escaped. We thought that was more to bring in a web page. and then we realized, oh no,
can
wrong.
bring in anything.
We can bring anything,
Yeah.
and even local stuff.
Yes.
So that's where we lost the power of that. It's, because to rate that project zone, we may just rewrite it. So,
Right.
because honestly, it just worked a lot better, and we could take whatever image they gave us and just immediately do things to it, and that's the kind of power that. And that's what we were surprised with. Well, I can't believe he doesn't have that. Darn! It's look at the wrong object.
Right.
And there's a lot of objects. And it's easy to happen, but when you're a developer and like us, and you're a pro developer, you think you know everything, and then you realize, darn, we missed a real important object.
You can actually even use a web window to web window another page in a Lectora title, and that page could web window the first page, and you could actually create Inception.
That's actually pretty cool. Their brains exploded in the distance
Yeah,
without. Ooh.
Careful, you could create a black hole though. So just
Yeah, that's quantum. It's a small hole, but it can get big.
It can get big.
Yeah. It is. It's fun stuff. It's fun stuff, and when you start looking at how you can really use it to go that way,
Yeah.
it's a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's a lot of power, and we missed that one. It was just one of those that it did actually irritate the living daylights out of us that we missed it. It's like, we normally don't do that. When we want a tool, we make it work, and that one just was one of those moments when I can't believe we missed such an important. Yeah, and she keeps telling me later, we could do it all over again. We just wrote 7 of these things, but we don't have OVO yet. But it's being recorded. Does it matter? So
You'll pay for those statements later, by the way.
yeah, I will. I will. I can do that. But no, what other things have you been adding or are close to that? You're on non-disclosure, not. So yours is not disclosable. You can't tell anything I want.
So many things. Right?
We just have some people that work at Trivantis going, I can't believe John just told everything he was doing. I go, but nobody can comprehend it. It's okay.
It's okay. And I'm hoping they didn't take pictures so they won't remember it.
Oh, that's funny.
Last year, I stood up there and I said, that whole list of things, and guess what? 100%. I went back and looked. We did 100% of it.
Did you really?
I said 100%. So,
Well, yeah, because at first I knew that the timeline was going to be. It wasn't secure, but you guys said we're probably going to do it, and I go, 17's out. Oh, there's no timeline. Oh, he was joking. He's not really going to do it. And then we've seen the actual mock-ups. Now we've actually seen it working, and it went, cool.
Yeah.
This is cool. Yeah. This is going to be fun, and but that's good. It's amazing. People do pay attention to stuff like that. The minute you say something, it's now a feature that they expect.
Yes.
Yeah, well, even though you could just be in dreamland saying, we could do this one day, but they expect it immediately. And now I heard you have been deprecating some of the Flash stuff. Like, I don't think the Flash controller is there like it was.
No. And the Flash controller. Everything out of the video is completely.
Pretty much, it's all now HTML5. Right. Well, the new players are faster. They seem a lot cleaner.
And they are accessible programmatically as well. So we have ways you can go in and do things through JavaScript, including actually, and this will interest you, I'm sure, you can actually get and set the track time on media, so you can jump to areas within the video.
Nice. So you can set the little points to jump to.
Yeah. You can jump to different points. Yes. You can
nice.
jump to points. So.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you say?
Events.
Yeah.
Events. Yeah. That's actually pretty cool. You can also layer stuff over a video.
Yes.
So that's actually real important because a lot of software doesn't do that. You try to layer and it just moves it.
Right.
So that's, again, if you want something that we want a more interactive video, you can actually layer something that stops the video.
Right.
You can send a command basically, and so you can do a lot of stuff with that. Or you would stop media from playing or jump to certain points. That makes for pretty interactive video training. Right from within.
Branching within video, so you can stop the video, ask a question on top of the video, maybe pointing to something in there. Ask a question. If they answer it one way, you branch here. If they answer another way, you branch here.
Yeah,
depending on where you branch in the video.
I'm trying to. Well, he can do it already. A branch track. I think they can add videos to it.
Yes.
So I haven't used videos with it, but we have used it as well with audio and everything else. But you could do videos with that too, and you can. And then when you embed it into Lectora, then you have even more control and more variables that you can have fun.
Yeah.
With that stuff. We talked to some people from auto insurance.
Auto
owners insurance. I'm sorry. They just did a 250 branching training thing that they're going to be using for their claims adjusters.
Really, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
They said it was great. They were just saying the virtues of Lectora and how much time it saved them. They were just really happy.
Fantastic.
They've got all their developers now working on it. They just said they created something that they haven't released it yet to the general population, but the ones who've done it couldn't believe it. They go, now we're learning, so because it was all stand-up training before. Now they can go back, and they've done it so that the branching not only gives you a choice of where to go, good choices, you have better choices, good choices, bad choices, not so good choices,
right.
And they kind of work in a real life scenario of what could happen when you're doing claim adjustment, and always keep in mind the idea of customer service and empathy, and that's cool. They did a
So you
really
can
nice job.
Take it several times, maybe score better the next time, do something better with it.
And well, they have what they call non-politically correct choices. There are consequences for your actions.
Okay.
And they said if you take the wrong action, you may really depress a customer. You may get them angry. You could get a lawsuit. So they're saying these are all things that could happen in the real world. And so they're trying to bring it to the point where they have 1,200 agents that need to really do this well without really trying to make those wrong choices, trying to get it right. But if they don't make mistakes, they'll never learn. And that's so true.
Let them make mistakes in the app rather than with a live customer.
Yeah. Now I know a lot of people we've been training actually, in the office. They say that'll burn you if you touch it. Really? Ah! If you touch it again, it'll burn more. Really? Ah! It's like, and you graduated college, huh? It's actually true.
That's true.
It's not far from reality
Yeah.
on some of these guys. It's a little scary sometimes, but it's pretty good. Anything else going on? Or? I like
He's just poking. He keeps poking.
Yeah.
Keeps
Trying
poking.
to get all the answers.
Yeah,
What
all
else?
the
What else?
answers.
This is magnetic. It actually pulls information from
Okay,
you.
what's going on? I see that. I can tell. There's lots of things going on. We talked about enterprise features for Lectora Online. So what we've seen with Lectora Online is the larger enterprises are actually using online more. So
It's easier.
it's easier and it works for
Collaboration,
collaboration. Right?
yeah.
So a large enterprise generally has more than one person working on it.
Yeah.
And desktop you can, but it's very complex. You got to work on them separately, bring them in somewhere. It's Lectora Online is just in there. So, but with that has come the need for enterprise kind of features.
Right.
And so one of the biggest of which is the ability to share things within the media library and have them exist in multiple titles. And making one change
that'd be
changes
nice.
them all in multiple titles.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Yeah.
but an extension of that makes it even bigger is to allow for library objects, which can be any part of a title, from one object all the way up to a chapter or multiple chapters. Have them exist in the media library. Have them be editable at the media library level.
Interesting.
And if they are in multiple titles, it'll update
So
the multiple
you've got a little bit of a
titles.
CMS going on there, the content management
right?
kind
but
of.
but in a Lectora way.
You bet,
Right? So it
yeah.
works like Lectora works. So allows you to keep your things up there and edit them and edit them once and have them propagate out. So if
Well,
you-
we talked to your LO guy. I can't remember his name. Sorry.
Joe.
Joe. I should know that. And I asked him for a feature. He said, "That's a good one. We're going to put it in." So,
Yeah.
so he promised it's going to be.
He's
No,
got
we
a
asked
long,
him.
he's got a long list of features.
Well, this is actually a data feature.
Oh, okay.
We said, can you put it on Dropbox? Can you make it so that we don't have to go to your, but because sometimes people have security issues,
Right.
Dropbox or even an internal server. I talked to you about that once, I think about a year or two ago. And you thought it was a good idea too. It's just that it's one of those that requires a little time, effort to figure out. But he liked that idea. And I think he was probably thinking a lot of the enterprise. You'd be surprised how many people are using Dropbox and share files
Yes. We
to work across remote locale. Are you guys using it too?
Yeah. Everyone does.
ShareFile's good
Yeah.
because you have more control.
ShareFile's-
Dropbox
we
is
use that
great
for-
except for the people who delete you.
Right. We use ShareFile for customer support. That's how we do
She and
all
I
the
have
transition.
deleted both our full Dropbox. It's been bad.
Really?
Yeah, but we got it back. But
All right.
it was
Okay.
scary. It was like it's a tool that's great, but it also doesn't protect you from you.
True.
There's no data security. You can do anything you want. You can delete. You can say they can't delete, but then they can't do anything anyway. But we need them to do stuff. Yeah, that's the only bad part. But that would be great because then you could have your users in remote locations all sharing the same Dropbox, which you can do with your stuff too. But some have all their data in Dropbox,
It's already there.
and that's the only reason we asked for that. We thought that would be an interesting feature. Some of the things you're saying now, though, that if you This is coming out. The enterprise features. They're not yet, right?
No, not there yet.
That would actually solve most of our problems because then we could have collaboration across a whole mess of places, and everybody would be able to share the same data, which right now is a little hard.
Right.
It's harder to get things. I mean, you can move it to them, but those are good features.
The ability to share individual files, that's already in there. What we're talking about is allowing it to go, once it's in the media library, it stays in there, it changes in multiple times.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have basically an instance in your media library that everybody can grab.
And it pulls directly from there.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And he said if you update the instance, it updates everybody. That's actually really cool. That's Flash. You've developed Flash all over again.
All the way around.
Damn, you're good, and you do it quietly,
you
dude.
all the way around. How'd that happen?
I love that, but that's, you know what? Nobody else has done that.
There you go.
Yeah, the only people who even have a media library, or not library, but they have a library is Captivate, which is actually a fairly good library, the way they do things. But you have the same thing. It's in essence the same thing. When you bring out assets, you don't have to have 20 versions of it. You have one, and it's going to be used 100 times, and you only dinged once for it. And that's good, because I always try to teach our young graphic artists, compression is important. Don't make your files big. But it's not. It's only 200K. Yes, but it's a little.
It could be 2K.
That should be 2K.
Right. Just talked about that today. I like the whole thing on mobile. Talking about file size is so important.
It is, because bandwidth isn't unlimited.
And people take a picture with their phone and copy that on there, and guess what? That was 12 meg in size, and it's going to be a thumbnail for something.
Yeah. And then they share it as a text message to 400 people. You've just 400 times 12. That's a lot of 480 megabytes just went out from your phone.
Right.
Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, it's not good. Well, this is good. Well, I'm glad you had some time to spend with us, and it's been a great show. Cincinnati's a fun place. It's nice. It's a nice little city. This hotel's been beautiful. I keep telling people, everybody, we've been on this a lot. Yeah, this is one of the nice hotels we've been in a long time. Only one ding. They don't have a sundry store. Had to walk to CVS.
I guess they have a little market downstairs.
I don't know. No, nothing.
Okay.
We asked. They have like a little gift store. Nope. I need to leave. I have a pinched nerve in my back, and I was going, this is not a good day to have to walk to CVS.
Right.
But it was okay. We got there, even though we got there in 10 blocks versus 1.5 went the wrong way.
It's just right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's fun. Smart, right? We took the bridge that went across into how many places, but never where we were going.
Right.
So it was fun. Interesting walk.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you guys again, as always.
Always good to see you. Always good to
Alfredo.
Nice to see you.
And you've only been back a year, right?
Yes.
I think so.
About a year. But I was with the company.
I know you were there before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was smart.
He tries to get away. We pull him back in.
He leaves. He gets a better position.
Yeah.
He's smart. I heard a couple guys. Other guys are going to know. I'm just kidding. You guys are both. You're in Florida too.
Yes. All in Florida.
Yeah. So when you come here, it's sort of like slumming because you don't get the beaches. You don't get. I mean, it's
We spoiled.
You do get spoiled. I know. We're in California. Same thing.
Yeah.
We're 10 miles from the closest beach, which is nothing. It's less than a 10-minute drive across farms.
Yeah.
So it's nice. You know how many times we go to the beach?
Never.
We're always working.
Yeah.
Do you go?
I
Somebody said you surf.
I used to surf. Yeah. I used to surf.
Okay. Somebody was saying you were still surfing. I go, really? That's good.
Yeah. Back in the day. It's been a while.
Back in the day. We know guys. In California, you got the big Kahuna types.
Right.
They 60, 70, they're still surfing. They got their body suits on, and they're out there.
Good for them.
Early in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning in Malibu. It's amazing who goes out there. And their dogs surf with them. We should see the dog surfing. That's amazing.
Dog surfing?
Dog surfing. They're on the boards.
Okay.
It is amazing. And I go, how do you train a dog to surf? Our dogs can't even walk, and they want to, heel, huh?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
They can actually surf.
That's awesome.
I've seen even one where they had like 3 dogs surfing on one board. 2 and one on top of the other 2. It was like, how do you train a dog to do this?
I have no idea.
Crazy.
That's a smart dog. You need to get them in your programming staff. They'll be good. A dog that can do that, that's a brilliant dog.
There you go.
Anyway, we're glad to see you guys, and we'll be back later on with other shows, and have a good one. Take care. Thanks.
Right.
That's fun. You guys going to be busy today? Are you wrapping up, or are you doing any more?
I am basically wrapping up. I might have to do something for closing.